Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition, this pre-zombie apocalypse edition of Zombie Beach podcast. I am Dan Ledbetter, out westward, the farthest away from where the zombie apocalypse ground zero has already begun. Jerry, my good friend, is closer to the apocalypse and is probably going to be bitten any day now. So welcome us both, as we welcome you to another edition of Zombie Beach podcast.
Hello, everybody. I am shivering in my boots.
I know. Now let's jump right into this because this is kind of exciting for anyone who's been following this for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. If you've been watching the news or listening to the news or what's been going around the internet, you would swear that someone has been making this crap up, but it is absolutely true. I don't know, Jerry, did you even see the Twitter that came from the University of Illinois about the accidental spill in the biology division?
No.
Yeah, I'm not even kidding. It's like, you can't even make this crap up. Let me read it to you because I posted it on the Zombie Beach Facebook page, and the funniest part about it is it's true. This came out, let's see, at 8:16 p.m. on the 28th of May, and it said this: hazardous materials release at Institute for Genomic Biology. Escape area if safe to do so, otherwise seek shelter. That is the actual Twitter alert that came from the Illinois Institute.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. And then, a couple days before that, there was the guy in Florida, the naked guy who jumped on a homeless dude and started eating his face.
And then didn't react when he was shot.
Yeah, it's like somebody came up and told him to knock it off. He got up, turned around, had pieces of face in his mouth and started growling. And so they started pumping him full of bullets, and he didn't die. Now, I would like to know. This is just me personally.
Well, he ended up dying at one point. But
well, he did die, finally. But I'm just wondering if it was when they capped him in the head.
That's what I was wondering.
So, dude, and they're covering it up. Well, I don't want to cause a panic, but let's just say this. If another dude is biting another dude's face and doesn't react when he's shot, I'm saying it's the start of the zombie apocalypse.
Well, only if the guy who is missing half his face suddenly starts biting people in the hospital.
We haven't heard anything about that yet.
Yeah, because they probably have him strapped down.
I would say he should be strapped down, put in a room, locked. I mean, no kidding. It's like, let's put it this way, my friend. If I worked in the hospital and I heard what had happened, that cowboy would be in a closet, locked up, Velcroed, and chained to a wall like nobody's business.
Now, even worse, and now my daughter claims that she verified this, but she read off a bunch of other things that were happening that are very similar to this, all within days. But apparently at one point, and listeners, if this is completely wrong, let us know.
Please, because we do not want to start a panic.
And we don't want to spread misinformation, but this was something I said no. And she said, yeah, because she went and she checked it. Apparently at some point, I don't know the exact details, someone had cut themselves open, cut out their intestines, and was throwing their own intestines at the police.
Yes, that is true. That I
What the hell is the world coming to?
Dude, let me just say this. I don't want to be one to cry zombie, but I'm going to cry zombie. Stuff is going down. And this is what makes me say it. I mean, you can say all day long that the CDC just wanted to capitalize on the zombie phenomenon. But I just think that all of this stuff is trying to get us in a mindset and prepared for some catastrophe of some sort. Now, whether the CDC knew this was going down, if this was happening, I don't know. But all I know is, how often do you get news reports that sound like they were pulled right from Resident Evil or George Romero movies?
I know. That was
what I'm saying?
Out, I swear.
Dude, it's like that Twitter thing sounds just like the start of Resident Evil. When I saw the news report of the guy munching on the other dude's face, I'm going, this cannot even be happening.
I know.
So it's like I'm sitting here going, well, okay, I'm further west, obviously, than you are. So if stuff is going down, you're going to know about it before I do.
Yeah, and I'll let you know.
You please do. And if you turn, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to cap you in the head. Because if you're coming at me like saying brains or something, I love you, but you're going down. Exactly. I am sitting here looking at my house going, I am so ill prepared for the zombie apocalypse. I've got these huge windows that have no bars or anything on them. And it's like, I was just thinking that the other morning. It's funny that we're even talking about this because I was thinking, you know what? If a zombie apocalypse happened, I'm in the worst possible position because I'm at the end of the cul-de-sac and I've got these huge windows and honestly, if a 5-year-old wanted to get in the house, he could totally get in the house totally easy, let alone a 6-foot zombie that's just trying to eat my brains. So all this to say, we've got that happening. Now they're saying, I wanted to talk to you about this because I think this is the most interesting part of the deal. And you can tell me only because I know you've had experience with this drug in the past. They are blaming it on a quote-unquote new LSD called bath salts.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Now, what do you think about this? I personally have never done acid, so I don't know.
You were with me when I did acid.
Exactly. The most you wanted to do was lay on the bed and watch things move around.
I know, or play. Actually, all I wanted to do was play. What was it? What's that one where the little armies come marching down on the video screen? Space Invaders. I wanted to play Space Invaders and not fire a shot and just watch them come down and eat me.
Right.
That was fun. But
so there you go. That's what I'm saying. What do you think about this?
I think it is absolutely possible that they have come out with a new type of drug that does something different to the brain. Because you screw with the brain and anything is possible.
Well, but can a drug give you superhuman strength?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yes, it can.
Really?
It will also kill you.
Well, they're saying that it's mixed with PCP.
Well, they know that PCP gives you superhuman strength.
All right.
What gives you the superhuman strength is okay, I'm not a scientist. This is what I've heard. Your adrenal glands squirt out everything they have. Your muscles have a whole bunch of stored up energy that you use over time. Right. If you use all that energy up all at once, you can do superhuman feats, barring physical things. I mean, you can't lift something that's going to crush your muscles or break your own bones. But I mean, if your physical body structure can handle it, and you push these muscles hard enough with enough energy, they can do amazing things.
Okay. So that explains the superhuman strength. But what about the?
But you could only do it for a very. It's like putting way too much wattage in a light bulb. Right. It'll burn really bright and then it'll explode.
Right. So how do you explain the eating the person's face?
You're just.
I mean, was there a point when you've been tripping on acid where you go, you know what? I just want to chew off someone's nose.
No, but I mean, I could see someone being so far. I mean, people on PCP whose brain has rotted to the point where you're running on your lizard brain,
right?
Can do insane, crazy, bad, horrible things because they are not really conscious beings anymore. And so some bizarre impulse gets stuck. It's like bad programming,
So are you saying you're buying the story?
I'm buying the story because something has to cause it. Now, I don't know where that drug is coming from or why someone would take it. If you want to really be conspiracy theory about it, it could be some sort of accidentally released bioweapon.
Sure.
You know, who knows?
Like trioxin 345.
Yeah. Oops.
It's possible. Well, I mean, but this is the thing. I mean, part of me wants to go, okay, you know, it's a very close coincidence to sounding like zombie apocalypse. But part of me is going, you know what? What if it really is? I mean, what if this is the start of something out of control? I mean, I don't want to be one of those guys, you know, that like sells all his stuff and goes sit on a mountain and waiting for God to come back. But at the same time, I don't want to be foolish and sit there and go, oh, it's just a lot of coincidental stuff.
Well, in order for it to be a zombie apocalypse, it has to be contagious.
That's true.
Nothing has shown so far that it's contagious. It sounds like you have to ingest a drug.
So far.
Okay. So far, it does not really truly sound like a zombie apocalypse. It's just fun to talk about it that way.
Right. And we have not seen anything. Let's just say we have not seen anything to the contrary or to the non-contrary.
Yeah.
So it's the jury could still be out, but as of right now, I would say that on a zombie apocalypse level, we're at about a 3.5.
Well, what are those? Not DEFCON, but what did the
TSA, like we're at an orange alert.
Yeah,
orange.
I was trying to say Homeland Security and orange at the same time.
Well, that's close.
Yeah.
but orange, that could be French.
The orange. So, I mean, I forgot what it was. It was like green, blue, orange, and red or something like that?
Yeah, but we're constantly in a state of orange.
Yeah, we are, aren't we?
So
as far as I would say the apocalypse, we would be one up from the green.
Yes. We'd be at a level 2.
Level 2. We're at a level 2 alert.
Right, because crazy crap is going down, but we cannot confirm that the people that are doing it are dead.
Yeah, but they don't really even have to be dead. They just have to be spreading it. Because like in
28 days
later, they're not dead. They have super rabies.
Yeah, rabies.
Just as bad.
That's a great way to put it. Super rabies works.
So if we start noticing in the news that there's more and more of these instances and they seem to be ramping up, then we go to stage 3.
Yes.
At that point, in stage 3, buy guns, stock up on water and canned foods. All I'm saying.
Yes.
We're not there yet.
No, we're not at stage 3. We are only at stage 2. So just keep...
You realize how goofy we sound?
I know. Dude, we're on a podcast called Zombie Beach. We have to report this stuff.
No,
so it's like, I mean, I don't want to be the guy that sits there and says, oh, you know, I don't want to be Chicken Little.
That's true.
And say the sky is falling, but I'm just saying something's coming down and don't be an idiot.
And, you know, even at stage 2, it might be a good idea if you have any kind of eyesight problem and you want to be able to aim your gun better.
That was the best segue I have ever heard in my life.
Is that a zombie in your gun sights or a live uninfected person? You don't want to make a bad judgment call because either can lead to disaster. That's why we recommend donning a pair of Super Focus eyeglasses before you pull the trigger. Yep, it was a zombie. Thank you, Super Focus. Super Focus recommended eyewear for the zombie apocalypse. For more information, go to www.superfocus.com or call 800-900-3700.
Official sponsor of the Zombie Apocalypse 2012.
Yeah. So whether they knew it or not.
Whether they knew it or not, they need to be. So there you go. I think that's brilliant. I think that, honestly, I'm glad I have my Super Focus because, excuse me, I yawned right in the middle of my sentence. You thought I got bit or something. So I'm sitting here like looking out my window, and I can look right down the cul-de-sac. And I was sitting here, you know how your mind wanders, and you're sitting there going, well, what would I do if like I'm sitting here and somebody's like shambling down the street? And I'd go, well, number one, I couldn't really tell if they were shambling because it would be blurry. But if I had my super focus glasses on, I could go, oh, holy crap, here comes one of the undead now.
You'd be like, oh my God, he doesn't have a bottom jaw.
Exactly. That would be the first giveaway. So,
wait, what's a bottom jaw?
Well, if you're an alien, that would be, you would have a bottom jaw. So.
Oh my God, zombie aliens.
Oh, don't even go there.
Alien undead.
Oh. Hey, speaking of movies and such.
Hey, did you see it? Oh, it's not open yet.
No, I couldn't have seen it.
It's open in Europe already.
What? Prometheus has?
Yeah.
I did not know that. It's not going to open here till next week.
I know.
A week from today, as a matter of fact.
There's all sorts of spoilers out. I haven't been reading them, but I have heard that you don't want to go into it with any foreknowledge. So avoid the spoilers. It will ruin the movie for you.
Yeah, I'm actually very excited to watch this film firsthand and not be all preempted and pre-warned.
Yeah.
I mean, I figure I've got enough information as is just from the trailers that I've watched. So I've been really enjoying those.
So we really don't want to talk about that right now, I don't think.
No, but I do want to talk about Dark Shadows because I went and saw that last night.
Okay, before we do that, I just want to mention to you so we know.
Yes.
I have 4 movies under my belt.
What?
Not current ones, but older ones. I watched Fright Night.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah, I watched Monsters. And I watched War of the Worlds, the original, and War of the Worlds, the Spielberg.
Well, let's do this. Let's talk about those.
No. What? Oh, okay. You want to talk about those first?
And then we'll cap it off with my Dark Shadows review.
Okay. And also, I finally caught up with Supernatural. So
very good. Okay. And plus, there's some stuff going down Walking Dead style, too. So we need to talk about that at the end. So remind me after we're done with our movie review to do our Walking Dead update.
Okay. And I'm not going to take a whole lot of time with this. I just want to say Supernatural rocks. If you haven't seen it, start from the beginning. It's on Netflix. Give it a chance because the first season is a little bit tweeny.
Oh.
And that all the actors and actresses look like supermodels. It was like in season 2, it starts to get really good. It's kind of like Star Trek. When a new Star Trek series comes out, you can't judge it by the first season because it only hits its stride afterwards. And man, in season 2, it hits its stride and it never stopped. I am a total Supernatural geek fan.
Wow. All right, so I'm going to have to watch it.
Fright Night with Colin Farrell and David Tennant. David Tennant was the person I actually wanted to see. It was awesome. We really enjoyed it, even though it was kind of silly.
Did you really?
What?
You enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it.
Wow.
I mean, it was a doofy movie.
Did you see the original?
No.
Okay, you need to go back.
Is it the same movie, or is it just
pretty much the same movie? Except I thought the first one was way better.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't have anything to judge against. I just know I like David Tennant because he's, to me, Doctor Who.
Well, what you need to do is you need to go back and watch the first one, and then we'll have because I personally didn't like it, and I guess I didn't like it for the same reason that I didn't like the new Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, okay.
Because I thought that it was such a creative story, and it was such a good story, albeit campy and funny, and in different moments had its, it was an 80s film. It was like it was a 1980s movie when it came out, so it had a certain panache to it that I can't really explain, but Christopher Sarandon made such a great vampire that it was so hard. Well, we can talk about this too, the new Rocky Horror remake. It's so hard to think of anyone else playing Frankenfurter other than Tim Curry.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I felt about Fright Night. It was like I had such a strong attraction for the first Fright Night because, number one, it had Roddy McDowall in it, which was amazing, and it had Chris Sarandon, who was perfect in this role. He's kind of suave and debonair, and yet he had this underlying evil that was just perfect.
Yeah.
The second one didn't work for me on that level. I felt kind of cheated.
Farrell was not a great vampire.
Right.
But David Tennant was a great kind of vampire hunter kind of guy.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, he was okay. But
and I love the female lead actor's name was Imogen Gay Poots.
Yes. Just the name.
Just the name.
Yeah.
She was gorgeous. I did not believe that she would love this guy. But I liked the movie because of David Tennant.
It worked.
For me.
Okay. Well, we can agree to disagree on this.
Well, I'm gonna now go see the original one.
See the original, because I would love to have a conversation from a comparison level.
Okay. Now you mentioned something that I do want to touch on.
Yes.
Is there indeed really going to be a remake of Rocky Horror?
Yes.
Because I heard when I saw that, because I posted that on our Facebook.
Yes.
I was like, no. And so I went and I was like digging for information. It seems to be an on again, off again thing. The last thing I read was no, they weren't doing it.
Did you not see the post that I put up there?
No, I guess
underneath it.
I didn't go back.
Basically, let me give you the backstory.
Is it an MTV thing still?
It's an MTV thing, and it's basically because of the Glee Halloween special where they did the Rocky Horror themed episode. That's that's what they're kind of going with.
Huh.
And they got the one gal, the dark-haired girl from Glee, is going to play Susan Sarandon's part, and I believe, who was it? John, whatever his name was from Full House, is going to play Meatloaf's part as Eddie, because I guess he did that in the Glee thing, and I guess it's going to be Gleed up a little bit. So because it was so popular, they're doing. I know it's
the absolutely only way I could see you doing a remake of Rocky Horror is to do it seriously.
Yes,
I mean, Rocky Horror was the ultimate of camp. The only way you're going to redo it, you can't do another camp on the camp. It's redundant. It's stupid. The original is perfect. But I could see redoing Rocky Horror and taking the story very seriously.
Yes.
That would be awesome. Make an actual, real, scary movie out of it.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Well, and that's part of the problem. It's like, and this is what kills me, because it's going to be like doing the scene-by-scene remake of Psycho that they did with Vince Vaughn. Who was it? Remember that?
I didn't even bother.
Exactly. And that's what I think the problem is. It's like it had such a strong reaction when people did it on Glee that they thought, oh, okay, I see dollar signs. I see something that could be remade. I see, once again, rather than come up with something original, let's go ahead and, buy the rights from Lou Adler, and we'll pay the money and we'll redo it. And it's like I'm going, oh, man, Richard O'Brien would probably be rolling over in his... Well, he's not even dead. He probably would kill himself, and then so he could roll over in his grave. Because it's like... Well, maybe not. Maybe, you know what? It's been a million years.
I do also, since he owns a lot of the rights there, he would probably pocket a whole lot of that change. So
that's what I'm thinking.
Might be kind of happy about it.
Yeah.
Then again, you got to think he's probably made $1 bazillion, because it is a movie that never died.
Right.
I mean, they still show it. There's a right here in town. There was a midnight showing the other weekend.
Really?
Yeah. And every time it's shown, he gets some money.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he gets a little check. So, I mean, well, here's the thing. So, are you going to go see it if it comes out?
Yeah.
I know I will, too. I will be sad, much like I was. I almost started crying in the middle of Nightmare on Elm Street because it was such a travesty.
Well, I'm hoping it's going to surprise me, but who knows?
I know. I would rather go in with horrible low expectations than go in with super high expectations and be thoroughly disappointed.
Yeah, see, that's exactly how I'm going to go see Prometheus.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited about Prometheus. I have really high expectations for it.
I'm not.
Really? Not at all?
Nope.
Wow. There you go.
I'm expecting to be wrong, but I'm going in with low expectations on purpose.
Wow.
Because I want to like it.
Well, I can't wait till we can sit down and review this together, because I think we're both going to be very surprised.
One or the other.
Yeah, it's either going to be horrible but I can't imagine Ridley Scott being gone for 30 years from this genre and coming back and doing something horrible.
Well,
I just can't. I can't picture that.
Without revealing any kind of spoilers, because I shied away from them myself, the little I did read was people like it, but they say it's not like the original Alien because it's not slow. It's not claustrophobic. It doesn't have the horror elements. Now, if you go into it, they say, expecting a horror movie, you're going to be disappointed. If you go into it expecting a sci-fi movie, you won't be disappointed.
Well, that's what I loved about Alien, the original. It was a sci-fi movie that had horror elements.
No, it was a horror movie.
Really?
It was a horror movie.
See, I didn't think so.
Because it was scarier than hell.
Well, yes, but I mean, look at some of the other sci-fi films that were equally as frightening.
Like what?
Well, I can't really think of any off the top of my head, but
Alien was the scary.
It really was. It was a very frightening film.
Movie.
Well, now let's look at Aliens, the sequel.
That was also very claustrophobic.
Yeah, that's true. It was very claustrophobic, but it was more sci-fi than it was horror.
It was more sci-fi, but still, I mean, you got people crawling around in tunnels with aliens on both sides of them.
Yeah, that's true.
One person's already half melted with acid. They're trapped. They can't get out, so they undo a grenade, then hug each other, and then take out a bunch of aliens with them.
Yeah, that was pretty claustrophobic.
It was. I mean, there was some serious horror movie elements in it. It was like a locked room with a monster.
Right. Okay. All right. I'll give you that. I will give you that. That it definitely had it was definitely a horror film with sci-fi overtones. But I don't think that's what we're seeing with Prometheus.
Prometheus is definitely sci-fi with a grandiose vision and a mythos. It's more Lord of the Rings than it is. I mean, and I don't mean in a fantasy way. I mean in a thematic way.
Right.
Than the original Alien, and that's what he's intending. So we can't really go into it expecting a horror movie, and that's right. All I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Right.
Okay, I'll buy that. Well, it'll be interesting. I think once after next week, when you and I sit down and we mull it. When are you going to watch it, by the way, so I can kind of time this together?
I don't really know, because I'm going to be out of pocket for about 3 weeks.
For about 3 weeks, okay. Because I'm going to be gone next week. I'm going to be, I will be out from the late night on the 6th through the 12th.
Oh, and I'm going to be gone, though, 2 weeks after. So there will not be a podcast for about a month.
Wow, good heavens. So
I guess we'll warn everybody now.
Yeah, don't pod fade on us, people. Just know that we're
going on hiatus, I guess.
A little hiatus, because I'm going to be gone, Jerry will be gone, and so. But imagine that there will be much to discuss when we do get back together, because by that time Jerry will have seen Prometheus, as will I, and we'll know if the zombie apocalypse has happened, and we'll just know all things.
I'll give 2 really quick impressions.
Please.
War of the Worlds, the original one. I have a Blu-ray. It wasn't a Blu-ray disc, but I have a Blu-ray player that upsamples a regular DVD.
Right.
It almost ruined the movie because you could see details you would never see before, and I saw all the strings holding up the spacecraft. But it was still kind of creepy and scary. But I'm not so sure it was creepy and scary to my daughter, who'd never seen it before and didn't have the creepy, scary memories from childhood. Because when I first saw it, it was so long ago, we still thought there were people on Mars. And we still thought there were people on Venus, and so, or at least life forms, and we didn't know. Nothing had ever landed and taken pictures there yet. So it was still this unknown thing. And so it scared the bejesus out of me when I was a kid. So I think the echoes of that still scared me when I rewatched the original. Now, the remake, to me, is way more creepier.
Really?
Yeah. Now, and even though it was made in a hurry and it didn't really have any heart and soul, I still think it's a really good movie. And I thought it was a good remake.
Well, I'm going to have to go back and rewatch it because I really didn't get that when I watched it.
Well, one thing that almost ruined it for me was that it didn't make any sense for the craft to come up out of the ground.
Okay.
The way they explained it. But the thing is, when they explained it, it was being explained by people who didn't really know because nobody really knew. And
Sure.
They fell into the same trap that all these other science fictions that I really get pissed off at. When you have aliens involved, aliens that are pretty much unknowable to us, the movie makers do not have to try to explain their motives.
Right.
They're aliens. They're unknowable. That's all you need to know.
Right.
And so even Spielberg fell into this, we have to explain why they came out. Who cares?
Yeah,
They're
nobody
aliens.
cares.
They're aliens. Who knows?
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
Right.
The characters don't know why it happened.
That's what makes it creepy.
I know. They don't need to know why it happened. So trying to do this bullshit explanation did nothing but ruin my suspension of disbelief, because I went, no fucking way. What do you think? They were in there for millions of years? Why? Why didn't they just come there a million years ago when there was no people to have to wipe out? And anyway, I'll stop. Monsters, on the other hand, there's this movie named Monsters. I think it was low budget, but it was extremely well done. And it was literally the first sci-fi movie with tentacled monsters that was truly beautiful and wonderful and just captured my imagination. And the monsters didn't even really look that real. It almost, especially at the beginning, it looked like, puppets or something.
Kind of like Troll Hunter.
I haven't seen that yet.
You need to see that.
I got to see that. But I don't know, have you ever even heard of it?
I've not even heard of it, but I'm assuming it's on Netflix, so I'm going to have to watch it now.
What the premise is, 6 years before the movie starts, a NASA or something space capsule finds life on another planet in our solar system. It doesn't even tell you what planet. It just says life on a planet, and brings back samples to Earth. But something goes wrong, and the craft breaks up while it's deorbiting, and the debris gets scattered over New Mexico and into Mexico.
Oh, wait. Yes, I did see that movie.
Yeah.
I don't remember it being called Monsters. And so they're trying to get through.
Yeah, Mexico.
Yeah, right.
With these big squid things.
Yeah, it was actually really good.
It was a really good movie.
I was very impressed with that. I was actually, when I saw it, because I was just busting through Netflix trying to watch as much as I could, I was going, oh, well, all right, Monsters. That sounds like a horrible title. But I started watching it, and I bought in. It
was a totally great movie.
Yeah, a lot of fun on that one. So if would you give it, what would you give it?
I would give it 2 tentacles up.
Out of 3 or out of 5?
2.
Out of 2?
2 out of 2.
That's pretty good.
It was, I think what it is, I am on a alien invasion kick right now.
Right.
Because I think those are the movies that I'm enjoying the most at the moment. So expect more of that from me.
Okay. Well, because time is limited, let me give you my quick review of Dark Shadows.
Okay.
Because I had heard both good and bad things about it. I had heard that that it was stupid and cheesy and dumb, and that the ending sucked, and it was like they ran out of ideas and all this. So I went in slightly skewed both ways. But now, a little bit of a preface: I have been a Dark Shadows fan ever since I was like 7 or 8 years old.
Oh, okay.
My grandma used to watch Dark Shadows with me, which was a really melodramatic, cheesy, monster-based soap opera. Mm-hmm. Okay, so think Twilight, but in the 70s.
Okay, Twilight 70s with
less sparkles and more ominous overtones.
Okay.
So I went in and I was thinking, because the previews made it look very campy and very goofy funny and all this. And so I was prepared for some yucks and things like that. But I was incredibly surprised by how well Tim Burton retained the overall feel of the original. Retained.
Okay, I thought you said retained.
No, he didn't. He retained the feel. Like the first 20 minutes of the movie, I'm sitting here going, wow, the previews led me to believe that this was just a yuck comedy kind of funny thing, and it's not funny. It's like, it's very serious and very dark and very, had a lot of dark overtones and everything, and I was just going, man, that's like, this is pretty amazing. And then once Barnabas Collins comes back after being buried for 200 years, so it's kind of a fish out of water tale.
Uh-huh.
But dude, it totally works. It's funny without being over the top funny, and it's a pleasure. It's a joy to watch. Anyway, it worked out perfect. It was awesome, and I'll tell you,
you liked it.
I liked it. I would probably even go see it again.
Oh, okay. Worth the price of admission, huh?
It was more than worth the price of admission. It was just a great, honestly, one of my favorite Johnny Depp performances.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great. I think Dan gives it 2 tentacles up.
I give it 2 tentacles up. I give it 5 severed thumbs up and 2 fangs up.
2 fangs up.
So that's where I'm at with it. So I'm very excited. Yeah, it totally worked. It was brilliant and awesome, and yeah. So there you go. That's all I got to say.
Okay. Well, I know you have to go. We're running out of time, so I do want to say, if you guys want to read some funny horror and science fiction, go to yarddogpress.com. They're not sponsoring us. I just like them. And also they published one of my stories in one of their anthologies. So it's an awesome small press. If you don't like the big presses and they're like, they only publish people who are like movie stars or crooks, this is refreshing because they publish actual real writers who are talented. Oh my God, what a concept. YardDogPress.com. And also, if you're interested in some of my books, I write science fiction fantasy, and one of them is called 11 Days on Earth. If you want to check that out, go to jerryjdavis.com and you'll find all that stuff.
That's right. I write nothing except bad checks occasionally, and
some really good reviews on dealnews.com.
Yeah, actually, and I do some writing on dealnews.com. Actually, I got a story on water cooling your PC coming up.
Awesome!
Coming up soon, so that's a lot of fun. So check out dealnews.com because you can't afford not to.
All right. Well, I'm going to take us out by something by the Jackalopes.
Awesome! We love the Jackalopes.
They're the greatest.
They are. We like them a lot.
They're very jackalope-y.
Jackalope-delicious.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I said, but it sounded good.
It worked.
All right, well, take us out with that. I am going to
gonna deal with some car stuff.
Yeah, I got to go pick up some car and
pick up some car.
I got to pick up some car
with your superhuman strength that you got from that LSD.
Yes. It's like Hulk smash, but not as smashy.
Yeah, don't chew on anybody's faces.
Oh, well, I make no promises. All right, my friend, take us out because I'm getting out.
Okay, bye-bye.
See you, folks.